Hello and welcome to A Star to Steer Her By, episode 277.
Whoa!
I'm Chris, and joining me today are...
Ames!
Caitlin!
Jake!
And today we are here to discuss episodes Vis-a-Vis and the Omega Directive.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Oh, too short. Oh, Jake has the new theme song for this week.
I think I'm going to use our theme this week. We're just going to do this.
Good.
I'll take it. Quite a bit.
What was that, Jake?
That was the theme song to The Terminator.
Yep,
Okay.
the original.
Very nice.
We covered the Terminator, and somehow
Yeah.
that did not register with me.
No,
Apparently, I
same.
did not pay attention at all during the Terminator.
It does feel a little weird as a theme for that movie, but we should have discussed that at the time. This time, we're discussing Vis-a-Vis.
Tell us.
So, in Vis-a-Vis, for some reason, the Voyager writers have kind of fallen back on, like, sitcom tropes, kind of. Like, Tom is in a mood out of nowhere. He's, like, discontent with his job.
Totally
and
ignoring
B'Elanna.
B'Elanna, yeah.
It's like, it just, out of nowhere, he's been spending time in the holodeck playing Car Mechanic Simulator. And, you know, whatever. He's what the newspapers are starting to call quiet quitting, which just means doing the job that's expected of you and not overdoing it for less money.
Yes, please, Tom. Do it.
Of course, they're not paid, so... Anyway, they come across a funny little ship in space, which Tom posits has a coaxial warp drive. Ooh, that's fun to say. Coaxial.
Ooh, I like
Everyone
it.
say coaxial.
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 Go fuck yourself.
Nice.
Ooh, buzzkill.
Interesting pronunciation, Jake.
But it's got a coaxial warp drive, which can fold space, which, as Caitlin said, makes it a dune ship.
Yep, it's a dune ship.
Yeah!
And they, it's all destabilized, and it's potentially going to kerplode and murder everyone, and Tom is like, the one class I paid attention to wasn't something fun, it was subspace geometric theory.
I'm sure the instructor was hot.
Bet that's what it was. So they managed to somehow hoodly-do the woodly-whatsits, their warp field stabilizes the other fellas, hooray.
Yay.
They beam him aboard, they agree to help him with his ship, him and Tom become buddies, and whoopsie, he's a shapeshifter.
Woo!
And the way his ship wow.
Ship shape.
His ship shape and
His
shape-shifting.
oof, boy. So yes, the way his ship
Let's
shape,
get this
shifting.
ship shape.
Oh, fuck you.
That's what Tom wanted to do.
Gotta keep all that in now, just because I was made to look like a chump. So yeah, the way his shape-shifting works is he has to, like, steal your genetic code and download his other to you, so he doesn't, like, take on someone's form, he takes someone's form and gives them his old one. So Tom becomes him, he becomes Tom, and then you're like, oh, it's just gonna be one of those dumb... stolen body things, which are so boring.
Oh.
No, because it turns out this guy is the worst at stealing identities.
So
Really bad at it.
The
And,
worst idea guy.
He rumbles his own game in like 10 minutes.
Alana's like, this isn't how Tom kisses. Slap!
Yeah, and then he steals Janeway, which I'll admit bamboozled me, and tries to make off with her, but by then, real Tom has woken up because the previous person whose body had been stolen is found, and it's a whole thing. And basically they team up, get back, knock out the carburetor, and get the bodies all re-swapped around.
In literally like a log entry.
Yeah.
The doctor figured it out for us. Next scene.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's basically the gist, and now we'll get into detail.
Intruder alert. Turnabout intruder alert.
There it is.
Yeah, so I went into this kind of unenthused because, again, I find body swap plots just so boring and repetitive. This one was definitely brought an extra layer of joy by just how fucking bad Steth was at this.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
Or whatever his real name is, and Steth was the guy whose body... We don't know his name.
We don't.
Or we don't know anything about them, really.
This shapeshifter, we know that previous to the Steth form, there was this spotty-faced lady form,
Yeah.
whom we know nothing about.
No, I saw in your notes, she does apparently have a name.
It might just be on the memory alpha. I don't even fucking know.
Yeah, so... But that was great. She's like, wow, you bothered to download these files and then apparently didn't read them.
No.
The one
Like,
file...
wait, Tom has to go to go to work with the doctor sometimes? This is news to me.
But he
Where's sick
apparently did read the EMH's file, because he knew, just flatter him.
Yep.
Well, here's the thing. Here's a stupid thing
Yes.
that I didn't like is
Tom.
how stupid everything was, and in particular how good he was at impersonating Janeway while being absolute shit at impersonating everybody else. Like, because like Janeway comes out, she drops a bunch of Janeway-isms, like total like.
Well, he had been reading her files,
But
her personal
he'd
logs,
also
that's
been,
why.
hanging out with Tom for days and
Yeah.
still fucked that one up.
Yeah. Like, clearly this guy usually is on his own when he has stolen a body. And he, like, went from stage 1 to stage 5 without any of the intermediary stages. Because, holy crap, he was not ready for that.
And like, so does Janeway, assuming he learned everything he knows about Janeway by reading her personal logs, does she like recite, like reenact the day's events? And she's like, and then I said to Chakotay, on screen, and then they put the thing on the screen, and I said,
Well,
get to the turbo, Mr. Tuvok, and it was wonderful.
What is this Janeway voice
I'm
you're doing?
Janeway.
I think I prefer when we just do a bad Kate Hepburn.
I feel like that sounded like somebody, and I can't think of what it was.
You'll remember it midway through Omega Directive.
It's like the announcer from Futurama or something.
Oh,
like
a little
that.
bit.
It reminds me a little of the, what's that, Cloud?
Oh,
Think you
yeah.
can handle him? That narration voice, but...
But yeah, I don't know. I thought that was silly. I also thought, okay, the when he takes over Janeway, it's done. It's kind of done off screen.
Yeah.
We see like Tom kind of approach Janeway. Then it cuts to the bridge, and Janeway's like, "Get in here, Tuvok! I need you." And then Tuvok walks in, and
She's naked. What the fuck?
Tom, the person that appears to be Tom, is strangling Janeway.
Yeah.
So that means that Janeway in Tom's body
Yeah.
is strangling Sticks, whatever his fucking name is. But they switched places because Janeway had been on that side of the room. So there must have been like a
Proper
struggle.
tussle, yeah.
But then, like, why is Janeway now strangling this person? And why didn't...
Didn't he have to make physical contact with Tom to do the switch before? And I think he grabbed him by the throat.
Yeah, but it wasn't he that was grabbing... It was the other person. It was Janeway...
Was getting strangled by
strangled.
Tom. Yeah, you're right. That doesn't make
It's
sense.
the wrong person was doing the strangling.
Yeah, no, that's...
That is confusing. I didn't think
It-
of
it-
that.
Well, maybe they happened to walk in just in time for the transference to have happened, and so they were both still holding each other's necks.
But Janeway would not have been holding...
If someone put their hands around your neck and you were able to reciprocate, you might.
I don't think that's...
But, I mean, the
what
thing is,
happened.
like...
I don't think... the scene makes zero sense as it was...
It'd be
blocked.
like he'd changed into her and then she overpowered him. But she wouldn't be strangling him. She'd be doing, like, Starfleet Kung Fu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'd be doing
That would
Kirk
be...
chops.
Because that now is Tom, right?
No,
Tom is still
on
the other guy.
ship.
Okay.
No, it is Janeway that looks like Tom.
Okay, God, fuck
and
this episode.
1 + 1 + 2 + 1.
And Lilo and Stitch, who looks like Janeway, but it's Lilo and Stitch getting choked
Steph.
out.
Can we call him Steph, please?
Whatever, I don't fucking...
Stethoscope.
So Seth's getting choked out by Janeway in Tom's body.
Okay.
And then they shoot Janeway in Tom's body, which conveniently knocks her out
Yep.
for long enough that... what was fake Janeway's plan? What was Seth's plan here now? Is she just gonna leave? Like, just hang out? Like,
I think if...
hope Janeway in Tom's body dies? Because as soon as the real Janeway wakes up, she's gonna be like...
By the way, I'm Janeway. I
Yeah.
know all the codes, and this guy doesn't.
That's the thing. I think, like, if Tom hadn't shown back up, maybe his plan was to just try to be Janeway now.
Oh, I knew you were going crazy, Mr. Paris. I guess we'll always have Paris.
Yikes.
Which, let's talk about real Janeway right now. She has been a lizard and fucked Tom, and now she has been Tom. Her connections with Tom are getting weird.
They've both been inside each other.
Ha!
Okay, here's the other thing about this episode is that so we see people playing each other's characters to various effect. I don't think Robbie McNeil has the chops to play all these various characters, let alone himself having a kind of day in which he's being very bitchy.
Well, you can't blame him because it's like, you're an actor and it's like, hey, here's something that just doesn't make sense for your character right now. Good luck!
Yeah. You're
What?
you're suddenly ignoring B'Elanna.
For no reason.
You're a little bitch all of a sudden. I can understand, and here's the thing we've been saying for fucking weeks now. Paris should not be the only nurse on the fucking ship.
Yeah.
God damn it.
And in the next episode, we see at least one other.
Oh my god.
Yeah, remind me of that when we get to it.
I'm so upset that and I get it's because, he's a main character. You
Yeah.
already have him on the call sheets all the fucking time.
And they like having,
The dynamics with
Picardo
him and
snark
are
at
fun.
him.
Well,
Yeah.
but maybe his complaints were heard. Maybe this is the squeaky wheel getting the
monkey.
grease.
The grease monkey getting the
The
grease.
squeaky wheel getting the grease monkeys.
Can I also bring up something that really bothered me about this episode?
All of it?
Yeah. So the very opening scene is Tom working on this old car.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then the end scene is Tom and B'Elanna making out in said old car.
I think it was a different old car.
No,
No, it was the same car. The whole point was that he was he was
It's
spending
more
his
fixed.
time fixing up the car,
Okay.
and
He
now it's
added their
fixed.
stripes. The stripes are new, I think.
Mhm.
No,
Oh,
I
is
think
that
I
what
just
it
think the
was?
hood was up previously.
Oh,
we never
maybe.
saw
Maybe
it.
Oh,
that's
that's
what it
possible.
was.
We never
Because
saw
I
it
was like,
this
didn't
way.
look the same, but you're right.
The
The Camaro?
Camaro. But
That
here's
was a good
here's
joke.
the fucking
It was a
okay. If you're
69.
gonna spend, if
Hey,
you're gonna
nice.
use this device, this car fixing device in your show, he's gotta start the car at some point.
Mm.
Why did the car never start?
I didn't think of that.
The whole
We were more
point-
interested in hearing B'Elanna's engines purring at the end. Jake.
Oh, that's true.
Maybe that was all the plan all along. He's like, I don't even care if I ever get this thing moving. I just want to fucking make out in the
I mean,
front seat.
here's the other thing. In terms of getting the car moving, computer, repair car.
No,
Done.
Like Chris says, it's one of those job simulator video games you can play.
Yeah, he's gonna power wash some siding later.
What drove me nuts was at the end when he called it a mint condition Camaro. It's like, it's a fucking hologram. It ain't mint anything. It's hard light.
It's programmed to look mint condition.
I'm feeling pretty hard light myself, if you know what I mean.
But yeah, I was really not into, like, fucking Tom Parrish channeling Tim the Toolman Taylor.
Oh?
It's like, he doesn't have time for his relationship. He's gonna be in his fucking hollow garage. And it just didn't make sense.
Yeah, I feel like this episode is a holdover from an earlier season or
Seriously.
something. It feels like not the Tom we're at currently.
Yeah, no.
It feels like there's not they didn't quite make a reason for him to be so bitchy to everybody.
No. And, like, they could have still had, like, the car thing without it having consumed his life because they wanted the carburetor bit. I get that. But, like, it could have just been a thing he was doing in his spare time without it affecting the rest of his life.
Well, yeah, but if they didn't establish that he was already acting weird, it might have been harder for Steph to get away with acting so fucking weird.
But then Steph went super weird.
Yeah,
like,
but they still didn't think it was anything more than... Janeway was looking for brain amoeba, for Christ's sake, to try to explain it. Like,
well, by that point, it turns out she'd already swapped places at that stage.
I thought she swapped places at the stage wherein she was choking him.
Yeah, but by the time Tom was in bed, and they were like, he was like, weird DNA strand and possible amoebas, like, that was after that, wasn't it?
I thought that
Yeah, it was,
I
yeah.
thought she already said to him in the meeting before they switched that she wanted him to go to sick bay.
Oh, yeah, she
yeah,
did.
that's right.
That's true.
I forgot
Yeah,
about
because
that.
it wouldn't make sense for Janeway/Steph to say that to Tom/Janeway.
Yeah, no, I forgot about that scene.
Because then Tom/Janeway would just say, I'm Janeway! Everyone! Hello!
Let me tell you about the Omega Directive.
And speaking of the Omega Directive... No,
No.
I know.
It's too early.
I know.
We have to talk about this shit for another few minutes at least.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's that I didn't realize when Janeway and Tom had switched. I would have to go back and see what the subsequent scenes were, because I didn't realize until Janeway was taking over the shuttle with throwing Seven out on her ass,
Yeah.
which is something Janeway would do.
You'd be surprised how often I solve 24th century problems with 20th century technology. You want to go, oh, how many? Well, okay, this is the first time, but still! Proof of concept.
I think it happens often enough.
Probably. But
No.
No.
No,
Now.
Now, if Steph had tried to take 7 of 9,
She would have murdered him.
well, yes, but also, I imagine Steph would take over her form, but he wouldn't have Borg implants, because he's just making a genetic copy.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't have the eyepiece or the little chin thing or the hand hoovers.
But then again, the clothes changed.
The clothes did change. That's true.
How does that work?
No, actually, well, at least when he took Tom,
when he did Paris,
but when he did Janeway, she certainly wasn't wearing Tom's uniform.
Well, that's
maybe he just did a quick change.
Yeah.
I mean, they do both wear the same color, but they are not the same size.
Or pips, or anything.
Well, that's the other thing, though.
Easy to move.
But yeah, I don't think we would have gotten.
That's the other thing, though. Of course, is Steph. Oh, Jesus Christ! The alien Steph is significantly shorter than Tom Paris, and there wasn't a clothes issue there. So.
It's like that scene in Austin Powers where like the really tall guy and the really short fat woman are the people they steal the clothes from, and they fit Mike Myers and Elizabeth Hurley perfectly.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Hurley?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
That's a funny movie.
It is.
Why are we talking about Austin Powers so much?
Because it's so good, dude.
Okay, other thing that really fucking irritates me. We now have a folding space warp engine.
Never gonna mention it again.
Never gonna mention it. Like, what? Why of all of the things to introduce as the MacGuffin here?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Send
That.
him on his way. He's
Yeah.
bye. And
Like,
they're
why
waving
isn't it
from the
like
bridge.
like it's like the one thing that Voyager needs to get home.
They could.
And now they literally have it. They've installed it in one of their shuttles.
Yeah.
And Tom knows everything about it.
He figured out how to make it work, for Christ's sakes.
Just add carburetor.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that doesn't make... Like, if they could have just made it a different kind, Oh, yeah, it was a new kind of warp engine.
Yeah, it runs cleaner. It uses
something.
wind power.
Yeah, it's a bit more efficient, but it's new, so it had issues. But yeah, no, we'll never mention this coaxial warp drive ever again.
Maybe it's like a sublight engine and you're going to use it for some kind of race, or I don't fucking know.
Fuck you, Jake.
Well, because then it ties in with the muscle car thing.
Oh, okay. I thought you were referring to an upcoming episode.
And they'll be racing for pinks.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of ships, I liked the Benton ships that we saw.
Those were nice,
They
yeah.
had those big blue bulbous things.
Yeah, and they had a visible spinny piece.
Oh, I missed the spinny piece.
Yeah. On the underside of one of them, you can kind of see it's got like what's that called? That actually is it the transmission?
Oh God.
It's the bit in the underside of a car that actually moves.
The drive shaft?
Yes, it has a drive shaft.
Yeah, something didn't quite make a lot of sense to me in that scene. So Tom is in Steph's body.
Yep. Wakes up in the
coaxial
ship.
Gets attacked by these 2 other ships that accuse him of being a thief. And then the real Steph shows up in a 3rd ship, shoots the 2 Bentham ships, and then that's it. All we see of them. They're gone now. Like
the other ships. Oh, that's
like we don't like because the real Steph in the lady body wasn't on the Bentham ships.
Yeah,
he was on a totally different ship.
Yeah.
That swooped in and kind of saved Tom on the fancy ship, on the fancy shuttle thing. So I really don't understand.
Yeah, they kind of really rushed the ending, kind of, in terms of who is who knows what, whose ship is whose. Nope, and the answer is, Steph will figure it out later.
Yeah, maybe if we'd spent less time with whiny Tom, we could have had a more fleshed out ending.
Yeah, I didn't need whiny Tom. The only part of whiny Tom that I liked was after he and Torres have a fight in mess hall, and Neelix comes over, and they have their fight. They finish after their fight. Torres storms away, and Neelix is just left there, like, judging silently. And I loved the look on Ethan Phillips' face of just like, Tom, you dork.
So, also, from Fake Steph's perspective, when he stole Tom's body, why not just, like, set the warp engine to overload? And destroy the ship and kill the other body. That seems like a huge liability to just let him go.
Yeah, it does.
So I know. So what exactly? Steph's impulses for the entire episode are, oh god, my body's about to revert back to a different shape that I don't like anymore or something. Gotta get a new body. He does that, and then it seems like his motivation is flipped to, gee, this Starfleet ship seems really nice. I should just live here?
Apparently.
What exactly was his motivation?
I guess he just...
What? Because here's my solution. Here's my easy solution, because then he wouldn't get figured out like a fool.
Naomi Wildman.
Oh, that's not bad.
That was my thought the whole time. Like, why didn't you just take fucking Wildman's body? No one's gonna... She's a fucking child.
Fair. But he wouldn't know that Neelix can actually make her go to sleep. But no, here's my actual suggestion. He'd been saying to Tom all episode long, you should come with me to test out more ships. That's something you'd like. And then because we have this coaxial thing, you can meet up with Voyager wherever in the quadrant it is. And that's fine.
Why don't you just go to Earth while you're at it?
No, my thought is he should, when he gets into Tom's body, just convince everyone, hey, I'm going to go with Steph. I'll be back later. Bye. Fixed problem.
He really wanted replicated booze, apparently.
He did, that's true.
So many beverages.
Like 5.
I also thought you couldn't replicate alcohol. I thought you could only replicate synthahol.
Well, that is how advanced Voyager is, apparently.
Wow.
That is how much of a lightweight Steph is.
He's just been drinking neuro gel packs. He thinks they're Capri Suns.
Berry flavored.
Another question, because this got me very confused. After X amount of time in the Steph-shaped body, he starts flipping back to the previous body, even though the previous body
was also
is
stolen.
A different body
Yeah,
now.
That doesn't make a lot of sense.
I got very confused. If you think about it for 2 seconds, your brain explodes. In terms of why are you going back? What would happen to the other people? Why is original Steph pissed off? If maybe that'll flip back? I don't fucking know.
Yeah, like it seems like he flips back, but they don't. But why would he flip back to the previous stolen body and not whatever his
exactly his own body.
actual form is?
Yeah, I kept thinking, like, wait a minute, was the one that we kind of see flashes of a different woman? But I think it was the same.
No, it was
woman
the same
that we
woman.
saw.
So that doesn't make a lot of sense. Like he should be turning back into Alcazar, the funny little grasshopper monster that he truly is.
Alcazar?
Futurama, when Leela thinks she's found her homeworld.
Oh, yeah.
And he's actually a
That's
horrible...
a good
Cyclops.
reference. I forgot about that one.
Yeah, he's a horrible little shape-shifting grasshopper.
We just watched it recently.
Yeah, the whole like first act or so, I'm like, oh, are they going to try to do, like, because they kept like showing, oh, there's like Seth's actually a woman. Is there going to be like some kind of romance thing? Is that what they're trying to set up? But
Yeah, I also kind of thought maybe he was just actually a woman and he was like
Nope.
losing control of his ability to hold his shape because
like
of
maybe on
some fluctuation thing
on
that was
her
happening.
planet, you can't be a scientist and a woman at the same time, or
she doesn't have the lobes for it.
yeah, maybe he's just a trans man. We don't know. We have no idea.
But nope, instead it's
Instead, it's
weird
a
shape-shifting.
stupid body swap episode.
Which
God
is
damn it.
better than this or Turnabout Intruder?
Oh, I couldn't dream to be a captain in the boys' club.
Yeah, we're gonna go with this.
This is better, worse,
Better.
better, slightly.
Better.
I think Turnabout Intruder.
Turnabout
just
Intruder
the
was so
inherent
bad.
sexism.
Turnabout
Yeah.
Intruder was so bad.
How bad was it?
Oh, thank you. Oh man, we've even been watching a ton of Match Game. I should have jumped on that.
Damn.
They stopped making Star Trek after it. They're just like, you know what? This sucked so bad. We're not doing it anymore. We'll just wait
Which one was Turnabout?
20 years and try again.
The one where the woman stole Kirk's body. It was the last episode of TOS.
Oh, I don't remember.
She was
No.
she was an old friend or flame of Kirk's that wanted to be a starship captain, but apparently in those days you couldn't be Michael Burnham.
Like its only contribution.
Michelle Yeoh's character, who I can't remember the name of. Giorgio.
Yeah, the only contribution that episode has made to Star Trek now is that it's where that Kirk meme face comes from with him in the chair, like with the hands up. Like if you've ever seen that, that's the episode it's from.
I can't remember what
Yeah.
that looks like.
Not a very good episode.
No.
But yeah, she gets into Kirk's body and then acts all like
Flamboyant,
dainty, and
Yeah.
like William Shatner is just having the time of his life, being a girly man.
But they also, again, like kind of like with this, they very quickly are like, something's amiss as fuck.
yeah, it's basically the whole thing, the same.
They're like, something's wrong with the captain.
Yes, exactly. I have some tea and crumpets, Bones.
Yeah.
Or here's a quite a cute element that Tom and Harry were getting ready to play golf with Ensign Kaplan.
Yeah.
And with the way Harry first framed it was like, oh, do you have our golf clubs ready? It'll be great to beat Ensign Kaplan. I'm like, oh no! Ensign Kaplan, run!
Well, and fake Tom, he makes a face like, the fuck kind of sport is this?
Don't beat Ensign Kaplan with a club. Rude.
Yeah, but he was so bad at stealing a life. It's like, I downloaded these files, but I can't be bothered to read. Reading's for dorks.
I'm too busy jerking it to Janeway's journal for some reason.
I will make out with your girlfriend, though.
Like,
well, which, by the way, I will rape your girlfriend.
yeah, that was pretty fucked
because
up.
that's
not addressed. That's not brought up.
Having sex with someone under false pretenses that's rape.
Yeah,
Sure.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Also, like, where did the fucking golf thing come from? We had the car thing. Then we had to introduce a stupid golf thing, even though
Maybe
no
it's
one
meant
has
to be
ever.
like a midlife crisis thing. Like
Maybe
he's
it's Harry's decision.
got a nice car and he's gonna play more golf up the links.
Has anybody in Star Trek ever talked about golf? I just assumed golf went the way of baseball.
That would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's mentioned it before.
Maybe Kaplan is Scottish.
Oh, man. And, like, why does B'Elanna, like, she sees, what are you doing with those clubs in my quarters?
Yeah, that was...
Fucking golf? Are you fucking playing golf behind my back, Tom? Fuck!
Well, I think
golf killed my father.
It wasn't that she was mad about the golf. She was mad that he showed up and was like acting like he owned the place after they'd had a fight and he refused to be a big boy.
Well, that's true.
That's
Yeah.
why she was
Yeah.
upset. It had nothing to do with the golf.
Yeah, you'll come to my quarters to play golf, but not to talk with your
Sometimes
girlfriend.
people are not upset about the thing they say they're upset about, but about the subtext thing that is brought up other times in the episode.
They're in a
like where you're
relationship,
going with
you
that.
know.
I mean, honestly, I really thought you thought she was annoyed about golf.
Well, I think she was. I think she fucking hates golf.
Well,
I mean,
doesn't.
rightly
Any
so.
sensible
It's
person does.
One of the worst sports in the world.
It takes up so much fucking land,
Yeah.
too. It's absurd.
Oh, it's terrible.
What was that thing? Spring ball or Parisi Squares?
You can just play that on the holodeck.
That's where I assume that's where they are.
could
gonna
probably
play.
just
When they
play
play
golf on the
golf
holodeck.
Yeah, I assume
I'm thinking real world
I'm
golf.
assuming their golf contest isn't like using
but-
that little putting hole.
Yeah, was there anything else with this one?
I
Glad
think
it's over.
I was also incredibly distracted because Tom just looked paunchy all of a sudden.
Yeah, he
he
did
did
look
look
chunky,
good.
didn't he?
I did not notice that.
He looked
but-
he looked like
sleepy.
he'd gained all of B'Elanna's pregnancy weight.
Maybe it was sympathetic pregnancy weight gain.
A sympathetic pregnancy where you could
God,
become
no.
pregnant just by being near someone who's pregnant.
Oh no!
Hyster-
Murder them.
Hysterical pregnancy? A little bit, yes.
What is that from?
When Mr. Burns has all the diseases in the world at once, and they can't get through the door of his body.
Oh, that one. Yeah, we like that scene.
It's a good scene. I thought I had recognized Lady Steph, but no, I did not. Looked her up. Very lengthy career, but mostly in voice acting.
Oh, cool.
And her only other Trek credit is Bridge Commander, I think. One of the video games.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so very, very busy person, but not frequently actually shown on screen.
Well, she was fine.
Yeah.
I thought this episode was a turd, but it like wasn't offensively bad.
It was just
It's like there's like way worse episodes.
It was
It's just
structured kind of poorly. I
a
think.
little.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was. You know,
Yeah.
it's not bad enough to be like I'm going to remember it. You know.
yeah. I don't like.
I
I'm
will
trying to
have
think-
forgotten this episode within a few weeks.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what happens in a few weeks.
Yeah, that's right. Because
So in a few weeks, we're probably going to have to
Getting
remember
there.
it on purpose.
Yeah. I'll look at the list and go like, oh yeah, that one.
What about this one?
Well, this one is the Omega Directive.
Ba, 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 ba.
And no, it is not a 70s thriller. It is the Voyager puttering along through space. And suddenly they detect a thing and everything freezes up and there's Omegas everywhere. And they're like, what the shit? And Chakotay's like, I'll get Kim up here to figure it out for some reason. And then Janeway bursts in and is like, no one touch a fucking thing. I will end you. She pushes some buttons and then walks away and is like, and we're all like, oh, yeah, this is weird. So apparently this is the Omega Directive. It is Starfleet's ultimate directive. It turns off the Prime Directive.
It does.
It is so direct. Basically,
I'm told that it's Prime Directive, or it's Directive 0, so that it comes before the Prime Directive.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Except it's a prequel because it's only about 129 years, I think they said, old. So basically, a little over a century ago, Federation scientists managed to fabricate the Omega particle, which has a crazy amount of energy, but is also crazy unstable, and if it blows up, it fucks subspace.
Oh no, we use that all the time
To
for
the
things.
Yeah, to the
That's
point.
where Odo is.
True. To the point where you can't create a stable warp field.
Wormhole.
So now, whenever a Federation ship detects an Omega particle, everything shuts down. The captain has to turn it back on, and normally they have to call up, Starfleet specialists and scream, "Oh fuck!" so they can send specialists to come and, destroy it in a way that doesn't fuck subspace. But of course, they're alone out in the Delta Quadrant, so they gotta deal with it on their own.
Stanley Steamer.
So Janeway's like, I've gotta have you all do things, but I can't get into detail. Kind of like, there's a TOS episode like that, too. There's one where, Kirk can't say what he's doing.
Oh, is that when he's being a dick because he has to
yeah, I
use
think
Romulan
so,
space?
yeah. Anywho, but Janeway luckily goes, wait a second. 7 of 9's a Borg. They've had Starfleet captains, but fuck, she probably knows all about this. She's like, hey, 7, can I talk to you? And 7's like, oh, I fucking know. And she's like, damn it. So it turns out the Omega particle is, borderline religious for the Borg because it's perfection incarnate. And there's some argument for her, but I could probably, stabilize it and we don't have to destroy it. And Jane's like, no, we're fucking destroying it. We've detected so much that if this was disposed of wrong, it would fuck subspace throughout most of this quadrant. And then we're definitely not getting home.
Oh, yeah.
So they go to this pre-warp civilization, and again, reminder, the Prime Directive has been deactivated. They find the station where they were working on it on the far side of a moon. It's kerploded. They get some people on board and start patching them up. And they're like, is there more? And they're like, there is so much more. And one of them explains to 7 that they found a way to kind of stabilize it a bit using its own hoodly-doo to what's-it-invert thing.
Ish.
Yeah.
And then they blew themselves up with it.
So much. And 7's like, oh,
Fools.
maybe I can stabilize it. And Jane was like, no. And ultimately, of course, she does the right thing and lets him destroy it.
Is it the right thing?
Yes.
Oh.
And the other aliens, try to stop them and things like that. I've explained this poorly, but that's the gist, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of fascinating stuff to talk about.
There is. It's just...
It's a little dense, and there are a couple things I think they could have done better. Like you mentioned, this would particularly and very specifically impact if they could ever get home again, if subspace stopped working.
Yeah.
And I feel like they kind of, gloss over that a little bit.
I mean, it hangs over it. In a way, I'm glad they didn't harp on it too
That's
much.
a good point.
They kind of established, this would break warp full stop. So that just is there. And it kind of makes you go I can see why they turn off the Prime Directive for this. This is too important.
Yeah, we've seen in spoilers-ish, but I think it's very clear at this point in the last one of Discovery. No, the third one of Discovery. Just what societies are like when warp doesn't work and they fall apart.
Yeah. Not even so much they didn't work, they just didn't have it as much as they'd have liked.
Yeah.
And it fucked them. But yeah, it's interesting, this thing where Starfleet is just fuck even pretending about anything right now. This gotta, nope. Hello, pre-warp civilization that sounds like is maybe dying. Fuck you. Needs of the many, bitches.
Nuke them from orbit.
But at one point, he said, we could, what are we gonna destroy a small planet? And it's
yeah.
I think if you had to, you might.
Oh, I do it on purpose.
This isn't even General Order 24. This is... Ooh.
This is Omega Directive.
Yeah.
24.
Well, they were going to blow themselves and everybody up around them up anyway with their bullshit atoms, so really...
But if they stabilized it, they would never have
here's the
stabilized
thing, right?
it.
So, evidently, this is inevitable.
It seems so.
It's like nuclear power. Eventually, if you're a post-industrial society, one of the things you're going to do is invent an A-bomb.
Yeah, I think they specifically wanted to make analogies to the atomic bomb in this episode.
It was very subtle because I didn't pick up on it.
No, you didn't. I had to tell you about it from this book. I was getting a lot of Chernobyl vibes, too.
And it's interesting because you don't even necessarily have to be super advanced to try to do it, because they did specifically say these folks were pre-warp,
Yeah.
but they were still able to synthesize Omega particles.
So, like, if Voyager hadn't been here, hadn't been on the scene, happened to be in the neighborhood, I imagine not everybody has an Omega Directive.
No.
So it would have just happened. So how is this not already fucked subspace everywhere by now?
Maybe it has in certain areas. Maybe that's why there are a lot of areas you can't go. Like, I liked the comment that area where, I think the scientist's name was Cataract, which I thought was a cool name, because it sounds like Tesseract.
I thought it sounded too much like cataracts.
Yeah. That the whole area of space,
Listen, he had a vision.
that whole
Or
system where they first created the Omega particle, you can't use warp there anymore. You can only use subspace or sublight.
Yeah.
In that area, and everyone just says, "Oh yeah, that's some naturally occurring
phenomena.
thing." So all the other naturally occurring phenomena in the quadrant could just be more fucking this stuff.
Yeah.
They name drop Einstein
And Carol Marcus.
Oh, I like that. That was a good reference.
I thought like Oppenheimer would have been a better name drop for the A-bomb.
I feel like they were going with the kind of just like, let's just stick with the one we know everyone knows thing.
True.
I don't know. I feel like Oppenheimer's gotten really, like, a ton of like media mentions in different shows and plays and shit.
Well, people know who Oppenheimer is, I think.
Yeah, but I feel like at the end of the day, like,
But like,
it's safer to assume more people know Einstein.
that's true, but at the same time, I just feel like it's Star Trek should think more of people than that. Einstein didn't even work on the A-bomb.
He did not.
So it makes I feel like Oppenheimer would have been a much better choice to name drop, but
Anything's a better choice than Elon Musk.
that's true. Oh God, that's gonna have aged poorly.
I was like, can they George Lucas that? Can they just go back and dub in anyone else?
McClunky.
Yes, that would make more sense at this point. Like, just go in and redub that.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of Carol Marcus, and I love that they only give credit to Carol Marcus and not the son, because fuck that guy.
Well, he broke it.
Yeah. Apparently, I read that the Genesis device in The Wrath of Khan was originally going to be named the Omega device.
Ah, look at that.
Cute tie-in.
Which doesn't really make sense, considering what it was supposed to do. So
It's true. It's supposed to be the start. It should be the Alpha device.
yeah, so really not calling it that was a good plan.
Well, it's also, I also thought, it was a good, like, fan wanky name drop, but it also doesn't make a lot of sense in universe because there was only ever one built. It didn't work properly. It only killed one guy as a direct result of it.
Yeah, but all the thievery and skullduggery around.
Yeah, that's true. There was skullduggery, yeah, but like really, if you think about it, only Khan was an actual victim of,
and he was gonna die. Anyway.
And he was dying. He was
of those
dead
wounds.
anyway.
Well, I'm thinking about it like in the philosophical standpoint of what McCoy brings up profusely, saying like, "Hey guys, you realize this is actually a doomsday weapon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Bones. We love you. You look great in that coat."
But the thing is, also, it's like, they were like, "Oh, how Marcus must have felt." Yeah, well, I think Carol Marcus still thought it was a pretty good thing. Like, I don't think Carol Marcus ever believed that Genesis was anything other than a good invention.
Yeah, though we don't know, what she thought of it as she found out it didn't actually work.
Well,
except for her son using proto matter.
Yeah, it's like,
douche.
I imagine like someone delivering that news, like, "Hey, guess what? Genesis doesn't work, Carol. Oh my God!
Let's try again."
And David's dead.
Oh.
What do you mean? What do you mean it doesn't work?
I want that scene. I want that scene so much.
So the Borg have multitudes, literally and figuratively. Because a while ago we were talking about that there's kind of a Borg sense of immortality.
Yeah.
And now we find they've got this thing that is a borderline, like...
religious figure?
Yeah, sort of a semi-religious obsession with this particle.
I liked the portrayal they gave of it. Because, when I read the synopsis of Seven has a religious experience. I'm like, ugh, this is going to be like another sacred ground bullshit, isn't it? But no, I think they handled it very well in that they didn't really make it seem religious. They made it seem like the logical thing her character would be into.
Yeah.
Like Tom's into cars.
Yeah.
Check that off the list. Seven's into the perfect particle.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. It's.
Love it.
I think comparing it to the Pursuit of the Holy Grail works. You know, it's this semi-mythic object, except here it's real.
Yeah, I was going to say it. Emphatically real object.
Yeah.
That gets what do they say? 600,000 Borg drones killed when they tried to stabilize one particle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fools.
I did quite like the scene where she's trying to get Chakotay
Another good use of Chakotay.
to let her to explaining her stance, and she actually her stoicism breaks down just a little bit. Some more emotion was coming through than she normally allows, and I thought that was done very well. Because it could have been easy to overdo it.
Yeah, good on Jerry Ryan.
Just letting a little bit through, letting the very stiff facade break just the teeniest bit. But the idea that they have this kind of pursuit and obsession that is maybe not 100% logical, it's only like 99% logical, which for the Borg is a lot, is, gives you this idea that there is still the barest idea of maybe a culture there, even though what they mostly do is become this bland, gothic, industrial beige.
Now, here's a thought. Now that Seven has sort of discovered and maybe embraced some form of spirituality, does that mean she's going to have a medicine bag and do the thing?
She's going to find her animal guide with Chakotay. And...
It'll be a Roomba.
Oh my god, I drooled because I was laughing so much. Oh no, it's awful.
Oh, fuck.
You son of a bitch. Yes, Jake, you're right.
I liked the scene where it was goofy for sure, but I did like it in spite of its goofiness, where when she was put in charge of people,
that
and she just started assigning them numbers,
and Harry was all pissed off.
He was pissed off that
that
his number wasn't good enough.
Well,
I
then
got
he
to 2?
Yeah.
He was 6, and then he went to 2.
Well, because he wouldn't stop bitching.
That's true.
I know that everyone else was just like, you know what, fine, fine, okay.
She's like some just randos, and she's like, yeah, your new designation is 8 of 10. And he's like, all right.
Okay.
Thanks.
I had worse hazing at the academy. This is fine.
Yeah, they put up with it until Janeway gets back, and Janeway will shut it down again.
But
part of her's like, that was kind of efficient.
Although, I don't know. I think that telling people here's a new name is going to be inefficient because they're like, no one's gonna. Hey, 2, I'm talking to you. 2.
Was I 2 or was I 3?
God damn it! I was just 6. Fuck.
Do you mean 2 of 10 or do you mean 2 of 9?
Did 7 of 9 give herself a designation in her little system? Like, was she 10 of 10 for that
10 for
project?
10, yeah.
Well, she's definitely a 10.
Indeed.
So, yes.
Weirdly enough, she designated herself Susan. She is Susan of 10.
Well, shit, no. I think she gave herself 11 of 10 because it's one more.
It's one better. Speaking of Harry, I also kind of like the Harry Tuvok scene in which Harry said, what do you think the captain's really up to before they get clued in? And he said, I think it's going to be, she's going to open up a wormhole. We're going to go back to the Alpha Quadrant. And you want to know what I think, Tuvok? Tuvok says, no. And I fucking love that.
God. And the other thing is, stupid gossip and rumors are going to spread. But clearly none of them were thinking this through. It's like, oh, he bets, some crewman dickface here thinks it's species 8472. And it's like, the Omega Directive clearly had to predate your journey to the Delta Quadrant. No one knew what species 8472 was before a few weeks ago. Think it through, crewman dickface.
Well, do they know it predates going to the Delta Quadrant? Or do they think maybe Janeway plugged it in and it's new DLC?
Oh, I mean, I guess they could think that, but...
Tuvok and Janeway have melded before.
Yes.
Who
hasn't Tuvok melded with now? Harry.
So, I mean...
Ensign dickface.
Do Starfleet captains have to receive special anti-mind reading training so that if they get melded or they meet a telepathic species or walk near a betazoid. Like, it seems like with mind reading being a thing in Star Trek, this super duper top secret knowledge.
Any top secret knowledge.
Here's
really.
how I would do it if I were Starfleet.
Tell us.
I would say, okay, when the ship detects the Omega particle, do the thing you did, shut down, display the symbol, and the captains don't actually know what it is.
Until it happens?
All they have is, all they know as a captain is, when I see that symbol and the ship shuts off, I gotta open up this, break the glass seal
briefcase that
in
glows
case of emergency. And then they learn about Omega.
Or they don't even learn about Omega. They just tell them what to do without telling them what it is.
Call ServPro and get this taken care of. That's true, yeah, because, this is serious knowledge and it's distributed, and now the Borg know about it. Great going, Starfleet.
Well, being fair, they had already stumbled across it anyway.
They had, but they
wouldn't have necessarily known what Starfleet's protocol was for it.
Yeah.
Now, if Janeway, in one of the countless ridiculous things she's done in blowing up the ship and all that, had gotten herself killed, would then, suddenly a box appear on Chakotay's desk and he unwraps it all giddy-like, and he's like,
that's a good question.
It's a directive I have to learn. Damn it.
That's why it's so much better. A much better system is what I was describing.
The magic briefcase.
And it's whoever has the command codes for the ship can read it.
That is better.
And only once it's been detected. Yeah, because
otherwise
if Janeway had been killed earlier in the mission and Chakotay was the captain at this time, or Tuvok was the captain, or anybody, they would have needed to have been briefed on this, or else they wouldn't, or else the ship would have shut off. Because I'm assuming when the ship goes into Omega mode, you gotta unlock it. You gotta do something, or else, oh no, our ship's just gone to Omega mode. I guess we're stuck here now.
Hi, Allah, Omega mode.
We like candy. That took a second.
What did you say?
I'm the worst. I said Pi Allah Omega mode. Because Pi Allah mode is a thing.
And pi is also a different Greek letter.
That's true.
See, you said, I didn't hear, I heard Allah, but I thought ALLAH, not ALA. So,
yeah, I also thought you were
that's why I was
talking
like,
about Allah, and I was very
happening?
confused.
And then I was like, oh, wait a minute, the French Allah.
Hey, there was a real gratuitous shot of a crucifix in this
episode.
episode.
that got us
I was like, whoa, Jesus.
He was like, that's me.
So apparently she did reset the Da Vinci program because he's no longer in France.
Or he got bored with the French and came back.
I mean, that's understandable.
Yeah, I would totally have deactivated him too, like apparently 7 did.
Yeah.
A+. Good work, 7.
Deactivated him and deleted that program.
He doesn't like visitors after midnight. It's a video game. It doesn't have to be the same time as it is on the ship. What the fuck? What is wrong with you people?
No, they're trying to Moriarty him in their spare time.
They do real time.
It's like Animal Crossing.
Exactly. This is the future of video games. I'm sorry, but that's just how it is.
Oh, I liked the visuals we got of the Omega particle because it was just a buckyball, which is amazing.
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
Yeah, it's a great shape. Like when they told, I wrote the guy's name down. God damn it. Visual effects producer Robert Von Schoen. And he's like, you know what I'm gonna make a religious experience molecule is a buckyball because those things are the fucking best.
I don't know what a
whatever
buckyball
works.
is.
It's a Buckminster fullerene particle. It's basically the same shape as a soccer ball. Because the shapes, the hexagons and pentagons, make for a very stable and strong shape.
Buckminster Fuller, he was an architect or something?
I think so.
And made geodesic domes?
Yeah. And they're really nicely designed. And there's a great video. I always forget the name. CPG Gray, some among the letters. Gray.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll link to it if I remember. Called Hexagons Are the Bestagons, because the hexagon is just such a superior shape.
Yeah, I mean that's why bees use it.
Yeah, that's why you see it in nature, whilst you don't really see fucking squares a lot.
I see squares all the time. There's 3 of them at this table.
Hey! Nicely done, Jake. Oh, the other note that I have So, if anyone noticed that suddenly Torres just kind of accrued the tasks that they give to Tom earlier, and that's why she wasn't in the briefing room anymore, it's because Roxanne Dawson had gone into labor and was not available to finish the episode.
Oops.
Well, there we go.
/ yay.
I'm gonna miss the overcoat.
I'm just gonna just put her in a Starfleet issued like gurney with like a
Wowzer.
This looks like a giant uniform covering her, and
Yikes.
just have her give birth on the set in the episode.
Just like I
And
love
if anyone's
Lucy.
asking, why is B'Elanna screaming so much?
It's the Klingon holiday where they're required to scream for 24 hours
Yes,
without
the
stopping.
Klingon day of screaming.
Oh,
That feels real.
that's a lot of
It
laughing.
does. It does.
You right there, Chris?
I'm good.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't mind the overcoat thing. I thought it was a cute overcoat.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss
Yeah,
it.
I think you should keep it.
They should have. Yeah, they should have kept it. It seemed, again, she's got little tools in her pocket. It just seems like all engineers should have.
Yeah, that's true. Although last episode it was the one where it's like fairly clear, like, oh, just leave her seated at the table. Don't let her move, because you can tell, you can see everything.
It's too late. I've seen everything.
You can see little baby handprints up against the side of her.
Ugh,
Yuck.
that's creepy.
Another thing I wrote down that I want to get you guys' take on, because I think it would be amazing, is at the very, very beginning, the Doctor said the Doctor has assigned Seven to read A Christmas Carol,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
and I want to see the Seven as Scrooge in a Christmas Carol movie. Who would play everybody else?
Fuck.
I feel like the Doctor would have to be Jacob Marley.
Okay,
Because he's kind of the one who's trying to help her get her shit together.
Yeah,
good.
Christmas Past would have to be Kess returning.
Aw,
there we go.
that's cute.
Harry's Cratchit.
Good, accurate.
Is Tom or Chakotay present? I feel like it's one of them.
Chakotay.
They can split it back and each take a leg.
Kind of like how the Muppets did two Marleys. We can have two presents.
It's Marley and Marley.
Neelix is Tiny Tim.
Good.
Because he's only got one lung.
Ah,
There we go.
Now who's future then?
Janeway.
Good. Yes.
Janeway in a spooky
Accurate.
robe.
A spooky robe. She's not even going to have a spooky robe. She's just going to have the look in her eyes that lets you know that she's going to blow up the ship.
Actually, and she'll be wearing sunglasses the whole time, and then she takes them off at the end. Instead of eyes, she's just got little Voyagers exploding like her eyes are screens.
Or just two big red buttons that you'd hit to make the explosion happen.
There we go.
Oh, that one's scarier.
Mm.
Button eyes. Ooh.
Very Coraline vibes.
Mm. It's funny because at some point, what's his name?
Tuvok.
The MH's real name.
Bob Picardo.
Rob Picardo did like a CD which was songs from the musical version of A Christmas Carol.
Oh yeah, was he Scrooge?
Yes.
Did I buy that? I feel
No,
like-
there's like samples of it on YouTube though.
Oh.
And of course, Patrick Stewart is in a version of A Christmas Carol where he is Scrooge.
It's like the role for aging white men.
Mm. There's even a version where Henry Winkler played Scrooge.
Oh, but he's too nice. How would you do that?
I don't know.
Oh, he's an excellent actor. That's how.
Well, yes. But they also like set it in Depression era United States instead of Victorian London.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
He would be a good Willy Loman.
Oh,
Yes,
wow.
yes, he would.
Wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who would?
Henry Winkler.
The Fonz.
Maybe. I would be willing to watch it.
Kind of surprised we never got Winkler on Star Trek.
Mm.
Oh man, but there's still time. Come on, buddy.
Make him the first non-Brent Spiner soon. Like, finally! Soon it's not fucking Spiner.
Nope, I think it's in Spiner's contract. I can only play songs. Here's the other very silly thing that took me a little that took me just the slightest bit out of this episode with every progressing moment.
Mm-hmm.
This is a really secretive fucking thing. Janeway's not even supposed to tell anybody.
Nope.
She tells Seven because Seven already knows. Finally, because when they realize, okay, this is more fucking like bizarre than usual.
Yeah.
Bring in the senior staff. None of this can leave this room.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, okay, good. None of this will leave this room. Literally the next fucking scene, Chakotay's in engineering telling B'Elanna and Tom and somebody else what their tasks are. Or some some order flip-flopped in which Chakotay's just in the middle of engineering telling everyone their tasks in earshot of the rest of engineering. And then later on, as they're on the bridge, before they're like finding Omega particles. Is that an Omega particle? Points at the view screen. Everyone else on the bridge is like, what?
Well, and of course, they've got a whole fucking away team involving not the senior staff recovering, like, the injured scientist.
Yeah, so this expanded past just the senior staff that was in that room to... Everybody knows it now.
I mean, it sounds like the rumor mill was working overtime and everybody kind of knew there was something.
Was up.
But, like, you can have multiple people, I think, knowing parts of what's going on without knowing... Like, the secret part of Omega was that it's going to destroy...
Subspace.
Odo's bucket specifically.
Like, that's the secret part. I mean, it could just be, you know, oh, we've got to deal with some bullshit on this planet. And, you know, the lower decks people aren't going to know.
One of whom is apparently trained as a nurse because she had a medical bag.
Shakes head. Yeah, in the time that they've been attempting to train Tom on the side, while he's also piloting the fucking ship, they could have trained all the extras how to be a fucking nurse.
They could have trained Neelix at this point.
Well, Neelix also has way too many jobs. Samantha Wildman, what's she doing?
Naomi! Fuck it. It's like, child, we are skipping basics. You are going, we are just going to start from here to train you to eventually be a physician. Like, it's like the Middle Ages. We are just apprenticing you to the doctor the minute you can walk. Congratulations, you're a surgeon.
Yay.
That's all. Fucking, next time there's a crisis on the ship, like, there's the EMH and, you know, Naomi Wildman in, like, a lab coat, but it's adult-sized. The sleeves are all rolled up, it's trailing behind her. It's like, I'm sorry, you're gonna perform the surgery? Yeah, it's like Doogie Howser. Shut the fuck up.
Cool. Omega.
My last note is that the Vulcans were definitely the one that came up with this directive.
Yes.
Because fuck those guys.
Yeah. Oh, and again, it's very much needs of the many, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like...
Yeah. Oh, one of your crew is sick? Kill him. Vulcans, why?
You know what? Well, this might fuck up warp drive. Genocide a planet.
Yay.
They probably came up with General Order 24 as well, now that I think of it.
They definitely did.
I mean, in being fair, the Andorians went, yeah, it sounds good.
Thing is, the Vulcans came up with it, and they're like, all right, here we go. Here's General Order 1. And everyone's also like, let's
push it down the list.
Put it a little lower.
Make us seem a little less bloodthirsty.
We can come up with a couple other ones.
But then when they came up with the General Order 0, or rather the Omega Directive, and decided to make it 0, the Vulcans were like, yes.
Yeah. Their favorite.
They love killing.
Speaking of things Vulcans love doing.
Killing,
and also designing cool-looking starships.
Okay, that too, but mostly killing.
Mostly killing. I mean, they can kill things with the starships.
True.
Because we're on this is going to be our final starship discussion for a while, because all the other series are concurrent at the moment. So there's, one day maybe we'll circle back to any currently running series, but for now we're looking at the rest of the Enterprise alien starships that we see throughout the Enterprise series, which we haven't gotten to yet. So some of these might be spoilery, I'm not sure. Some of these, I'm not even sure how important they are. They're just ones that I found online and said, let's talk about these particular ships.
Vulcans love rings.
Vulcans love rings. You can see all our pictures up on our Tumblr, sshbpodcast.com, so make sure you're following along. Because now you can see the Vulcan Surak class ship, which is a cute little, like, it looks like a little pistol phaser inside of a ring.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of cute.
Yeah, I want to say there had been, like, concept art of a ring Enterprise, like, back in the 60s.
Oh, weird.
So I think this might be alluding to that. And that's why, if you look on, the motion picture, when Deckard is showing the Ilea probe, you know, all these ships were named Enterprise. One of them is a ring ship Enterprise.
Oh, I missed that off. So next time I'm voluntarily watching the motion picture, I'll take a look. What does Spock fly in the motion picture in his shuttle when he joins the crew?
His is like a long range, but I think Federation, like Starfleet shuttle. Okay. So it's a boxy thing with, like, it's very traditional. Got it.
I think I always confuse that with the ship that you see Obi-Wan fly around in episode 2.
Oh, which has the removable hyperdrive ring.
Yeah, which has a little ring, and that's what makes it go, and you can detach it, which is very cute.
Yeah.
It looks a little like this thing, but I don't think these detach.
And his is sort of a reddish color, so... Yeah, no, they don't. The ring is basically their nacelle, I think.
Yeah. And I think it's cool. Some of our other friends who we're going to see a lot of in Enterprise are the Andorians. And they fly around in these kind of like very long, squiddy looking ships.
The front end's like if you knock off the backs, it vaguely reminds me of the shape of the Galactica.
Yeah, just kind of have that.
Oh,
that look to
yeah. A little bit. Yeah, but then it's got like 15 fucking nacelles sticking out of the back of it.
Well, I think it's some are nacelles, the rest are probably mostly weapons emplacements.
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
Because
they're big on weapons.
Yeah, the Andorians we find in that series, they get some background. They love killing shit.
More than Vulcans?
Yeah,
Especially love killing Vulcans.
yeah.
Oh, dicks.
Vulcans aren't too keen on them either. They're very much like, they're not a warrior culture, but they love war. Like, they're not Klingons. They just are very, very, very militaristic. They're like killing shit.
Yeah, their ship looks very stealthy. It looks like it's got a ton of cannons on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just looks like a very zippy kind of thing. Our other friends in the Federation founding species are the Tellarites, and we kind of see their shippy looking thing.
Yeah.
The Tellarite ship. It's another one that looks a little like from the side. It looks like a shuttlecock.
There's also just all the sort of the curves and all this. It's very like Captain Proton 50s, 30s science fiction-y in ways. Especially from the top down like this, getting like old-timey rocket ship vibes.
It does, yeah. It's got a lot of rounded sides, which are pretty...
Good
I like
sense
the green.
to partially protect their nacelles, unlike everyone else.
Yeah. Everyone else is idiots.
Yeah. Decent little thing.
Alright, I should have covered the scout ship when we covered the original series, because we meet the Orions when they're doing something or other, and we see their ship is kind of like this anus in space.
A
Spanus.
And well, and I think those spin, so it really is a Spanus.
Yeah, spinning anus.
But of course, this design was when they did the remaster in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
In the original episode, it was just a blob
Blur.
of light.
It was just a blur or some shit, because no one cared. But the thing that we do kind of see, or we saw, because we watched the remaster, is this funky, with like a ton of like Christmas light bulbs in a octagon kind of shape.
Yeah, it's a weird little thing. Actually, the thing with the spinny bit and the weird shape of this front end, it kind of reminds you of Mr. Spock's squid ship in the Kelvin timeline.
I do like a spinny, so that's always good. But I included that one so that we could look at the other Orion ship that we see in Enterprise, the Orion Syndicate Interceptor. It looks kind of like a ram's head.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Or an IUD.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or just the whole ass uterus.
I'm just a uterus ship flying around in space.
There's also like, and maybe because of the sharp wings and the green, it feels like the Klingons and the Romulans like designed this together.
Yeah.
Joint project.
See, the wings don't go that direction though. These are kind of like they're horns, like they kind of scoop backwards instead of forwards.
Yeah, and they've got this like, I don't know what it's supposed to be, the paint job, but it looks like a pointy, toothy maw.
Oh god, it's like they dip the ends in blood.
Well, yeah, and with the tip of the like,
Weird.
which I could see them doing because they're whole like, we want to try to be threatening.
Spooky.
Yeah, it's like World War II pilots decorating their planes' noses.
Neat. We beat a species in Enterprise called the Sulaban. I don't know much about them, but I have a bunch of their ships to look at.
Their ship looks like a cockroach.
It does!
Or like one of those big horned beetles.
Like a beetle-y thing.
Do you remember Floam?
Yes.
Their skin looks like it's made of yellow Floam.
Nice. I hope it actually is.
It could be. You're right, though. There is a beetly, cockroachy quality to that.
Yeah, so there's a
Oh,
beetle
that's
ship.
a boxy
That sounds
fucker.
like a brick.
Yeah,
or
there's
a
another
grenade.
ship. Their long ship, which it kind of has like a piggy face,
A little bit.
Yeah, I can see that.
but it's
Or
symmetrical.
like tardigrade face.
Yeah, but it
Little
looks like
sucker mouth.
very symmetrical, so it looks almost like interchangeable directions a little bit.
Kinda.
Like, I've never seen a ship that is so symmetrical front to back.
So last week, I incorrectly thought something looked like the Red Dwarf, because I forgot what the Red Dwarf looked like. This actually kind of looks like the Red Dwarf.
Oh, it does. With
Yeah, it really does.
It just had, the dwarf has the, like, weird net on the, oh god damn it, the weird net on the front that this does not.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens with this ship in the show. For now, it just looks like a big fucking Lego brick.
Yeah, I remember these, and good comparison.
Cool. The other Sullivan ship we see is their short is their short shell ship. Wow, damn it.
What was I trying to say earlier
don't
that I
remember-
fucked up?
Oh, plenty.
Ship shape.
Ship
shape.
Shape.
Yeah, this is basically a shuttle.
Yeah, the
It's
short
like a 1 or 2 person.
Well,
short
these-
cells.
It looks like a
If I recall,
lifeboat.
A buoy.
if I recall, these sort of link up together and form a larger structure.
Oh, that's
they're
fun.
not.
Yeah,
They
they can.
can fly
like
on their own,
monkey
but
bread.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
can do, but yeah, they're also like
they
yeah.
can be their own thing. But they're also
Grease
like
monkey
sort of their.
bread.
They can
Yes.
sort of form up and make a Power Ranger.
Who
suit.
forms the head?
Neelix. Alright, now we're going to get to a whole bunch of Xindi ships. The Xindi are a bunch of different races under one banner kind of thing, is what I understand of what they are. I
It's-
could be entirely wrong.
It's without getting into details.
Good,
it's a
good.
really good idea wasted on the worst season of Enterprise.
Renterprise?
Yes, the worst season of Enterprise. I mean, possibly just one of the worst seasons of Star Trek. Full stop.
Oh, the poor things.
There is just so much bad about that
But
season.
you know what's great is the ships.
Oh, the ship is pretty.
The ships we see from the Xindi, because there's like 5 different cultures, and the reptilian ships are freaking beautiful.
Yeah.
I love the purple. I love all like the kind of like frilly bits. They look kind of like they could be like a butterfly.
The wings on the outer edges give me oh god, Ruafu's people vibes.
Sona.
Sona vibes.
Yeah, kind
Just the sort of the wings, not the whole. The whole thing is longer and sleeker, and again, there's an insectoid quality without me being able to say like there's a specific insect. It's because it's so pointy, and the wings have this kind of thing going on. Yeah, I forgot that their ships look like this.
Yeah, they're real pretty. I like kind of the detailing you see on them because they look textured.
Yeah,
They look like
Oh,
they
yeah.
have a texture.
yeah.
They definitely do look that way.
Yeah, I like these. Speaking of insectoid
Oh,
things,
I forgot.
somehow the insectoid ship looks less insecty
About that.
and more like mollusky.
It's like a grappling hook.
It does.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like a footprint.
Or the little poison dart from... Is it one of the Star Wars movies?
Yeah,
The one that kills the
Boba Fett
shapeshifter.
uses it on the shapeshifter.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn it, Boba Fett.
Not Boba.
What-
Django.
Yeah, blue Boba Fett.
That's true. Blue Buffet.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
A lot of blue on this, actually.
Yeah, a lot of blue. The blue's pretty. Like, they have a good color palette, I think,
Yeah.
across the different Xindi ships. Because,
Yeah.
we had the purpley of the previous one. We have the bluey here.
It's coming for you. You get the upper wings like, and the lower one's coming in too, like, you think you're safe, but then, coming in from the bottom. It's gonna stab you. Just a bunch of knives. But then also this from the side, it's also going like,
He's got a mouth.
It looks like a burb.
uh,
Looks like it's got a little beak.
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little beaky boy.
Yeah, so that one's cool. Another Xindi race are the Aquatics.
Mhm.
And they've got a really, like, flowy, liquidy looking ship.
Squiddy.
Which makes sense.
Squiddy ship.
Yeah, like the arcs and angle, or the curved lines on it, I think are really beautiful.
Yeah. No, it's very,
Also kind of looks like a Christmas tree.
it's got manta ray things going on from some angles.
Yeah.
This end? Yes. End bit does have like sort of the, a squid's cap kind
Yep,
of thing
little
going
bit.
on. But then again, from the front, it looks sort of like a ray. So,
Yeah, more good colors. There's a turquoise with this one.
a completely pointless hole, which the Romulans would love.
Oh, they
it's
love
got
it.
a butt plug at the end.
Oh no!
Moving on.
All right, another Xindi ship, yet another, because there's so many, are the primate ships. This one's a little more strange because it's got more angles to it. It's got more cutouts.
Yeah, because the front end, like, I immediately thought, again, to Star Wars, of the speeder bikes from Return of the Jedi.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I see it.
It's got kind of like this little like space in the front that looks like you can like
Right.
use it as a forklift.
Yeah. Although, decent profile from the front and back, can kind of be sort of hard to hit, because it's, kind of streamlined-y.
It's funny. You can almost see from over the top. Kind of, you can almost see like what looks like a Voyager shape
A little bit.
on the inside of
yeah.
it,
Yeah,
and then
no,
it looks
very
like you
much
built
so.
around it a little bit.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so that's an interesting ship, and I believe this might be the last of the Xindi ships.
Oh, yeah, these guys.
Oh, this looks like a Zeppelin or a dirigible.
Yeah, so this is the arboreal ship. I know nothing about what words I'm saying mean. But this is also, it's a reused ship in Enterprise because they're very,
Oh, is
very
it?
sneaky. So most of these pictures I've grabbed from, are actually from a different race that they just reused the ship.
Of course.
But it's a good looking ship. I like the million rocket area on the back.
Yeah, they are serious about their thruster assembly.
Yeah, it looks dense.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like a solid thing. Hard to kerplode.
Yeah, true. Okay, last thing we're going to look at. Again, I probably should have included this in TOS, but now we can include it in here and compare the two, is the Tholian ship. Because we first saw Tholian ships in the Tholian web, and they just look like little arrowheads. Yeah, little paper airplane, like pointy things. That very simple design, and good on them for keeping it simple.
Mm-hmm.
By the time we get to Enterprise, they've kind of shinied it up a little bit. They've given it more texture so that, it's 2000 something now. This is what we do.
Yep.
We use the CG.
Yep. But it's still keeping it relatively simple. It's still a big pointy thing.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah. We actually get to see a Tholian.
I know, yeah. That's going to be a good time.
Mm-hmm. And that's your lot.
And that's the lot of ships we see in Enterprise. Again, I haven't seen most of Enterprise, so I just found most of these ships online or on timelines or wherever, and I picked the ones that looked like they were important or were pretty.
Like the Xindi are such an interesting concept.
Prepare to be underwhelmed.
It's just used so poorly.
Well, I'll drool over their ships when we get to those episodes, and that'll be it.
Yeah, that's probably for the best.
Speaking of things we can drool over, we're doing more Voyager next week, and we're doing some fun stuff next week.
Oh yeah? What's that?
We're going to be talking about 2 more Voyager episodes. We're getting closer and closer to the end of Season 4.
That's fucking bonkers.
Which is wild. But the episodes next week are going to be Unforgettable.
Unforgettable.
Which I don't remember. And Living Witness, which is one of the best known
that's
episodes.
That's a good one.
Living Witness.
So that'll be our plan for next week. So definitely keep listening here on SoundCloud or one of the other ones, Apple, Google, something else.
Star
I don't
Wars.
care.
Us shouting out a window.
Yep. If you're passing by my house and you can hear me yelling about, God damn it, Tom isn't a nurse, you'll know it's us. So listen to us next week. Definitely make sure you're following along on our Tumblr where we've posted all those Enterprise ships and some additional snark that I write up every week. So you can see what those look like there. Or just, anything we've got on Tumblr is always good. Our fanfics are up. Make sure you've played with those. They were a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And just other blog posts and things. You can hang out with us on Facebook and Twitter, where we kind of exist a little bit.
Mostly Facebook.
And catch up with us next week. Until then, this has been Ames.
This has been Caitlin.
This has been Jake.
And this is always Chris.
Oh, guys, I gotta get out of here. There's an Omega on my screen.
Oh no!
I can't tell you about it.
But it's so perfect.